fortunes of the Cleveland Browns brightened considerably in 1980. The Cardiac Kids share the top spot in what many consider to be pro football's toughest division, the AFC Central. More importantly, Sam Ratigliano's group are masters of their own fate on the last Sunday of the NFL's regular season. A victory, and the Browns win the division title, beating the likes of Pittsburgh and Houston. A loss? Well, Cleveland fans didn't travel to Cincinnati to watch their Browns blow such a golden opportunity. Cleveland's Brian Sipe remembers the outcome a year ago. On the season's final Sunday in 1979, the Bengals denied Cleveland a playoff berth. Cincinnati's quarterback in that game was Jack Thompson. Thompson will lead the Bengals against Cleveland in 1980, hoping for a touch of deja vu. Cincinnati has won its last 3 games. Much of the credit goes to Pete Johnson. The mammoth fullback has rushed for over 100 yards in each of those 3 victories. For the Bengals, that intangible quality called pride is at stake. For the Browns, a division championship is on the line. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns in the NFL Game of the Week. The Browns' ability to stop the run has saved a defense that otherwise ranks near the bottom of the AFC. Jack Thompson attacked Cleveland's defense with his one-man wrecking crew, Pete Johnson, number 46. Johnson carried 7 times on Cincinnati's opening possession. On the 7th try, the Browns finally made a stand. The Bengals were forced to throw. Free safety Tom Darden relished the thought. Darden's exuberance resulted in a roughness penalty, but the consequences were far more severe for Cincinnati receiver Pat McInally. McInally was removed from the field on a stretcher. It appeared unlikely that he would return. With Cincinnati's offense halted, Jim Breach culminated the 10-play drive with a 42-yard field goal, and the Bengals led 3-0. Cincinnati's hopes of beating the Browns rested with their defense. Talented but erratic in previous seasons, the Bengals' 1980 version became one of the best in the AFC. The 3-4 has freed linebackers like number 57 Reggie Williams and Jim LeClaire, number 55, to play both the run and the pass effectively. Against the Browns, Cincinnati's linebackers met the early challenge of Brian Sipe, the league's top-rated quarterback. Bo Harris, number 53, blitzed often, forcing Sipe to get rid of the ball well before he intended to. In the first period, an aggressive Bengal defense had Cleveland confused. If it weren't for Dan Fouts and San Diego's one-dimensional offense, the Browns would have the finest passing game in pro football. Give Brian Sipe time to throw the football, and the result can be devastating to a defense. With this Sipe to Dave Logan's 65-yard catch and carry snapped Cincinnati's defensive momentum. The Bengals bent, but they did not break. All they did was shatter Cleveland's first scoring threat. When the smoke cleared, Cincinnati had the ball. Sam Ratigliano's big play offense was not generating any consistency. A repeat of last year's loss to the Bengals in Week 16 was dancing like sugar plums in Ratigliano's head. Charles Alexander, number 40, made matters worse for the Browns. Alexander's 32-yard burst was followed by Jack Thompson's 13-yard scramble, and the Bengals built a 10-point lead 5 minutes into the second quarter. In only his second season, Thompson is a gutsy performer who knows what it takes to win. His presence in Cincinnati's lineup brought a spark to an offense that had settled comfortably into lethargy. Trailing 10-0 midway through the second period, the Browns' offense needed to warm up. But Cleveland's explosive attack was as frigid as the 15-degree weather. The Bengals' pass rush didn't allow Sipe the time to find his receivers. Sipe had been sacked only 17 times in 15 games, but Cincinnati trapped him 4 times in the first half alone. If only Sipe had time to pick out his target, he would seek him out and destroy the Bengal defense. With pass protection, the Cleveland quarterback did just that. The 42-yard touchdown pass to Reggie Rucker narrowed the Bengal lead to 10-7. Cincinnati had played strong defense, but Sipe's firepower overcame the Bengals' persistent effort. As has been the case all season long, Sipe's theatrics pumped up Cleveland's defense. Lyle Alzado and company pressured Thompson for the first time in the game, shutting down Cincinnati's inconsistent attack. Sipe went right back to work. Showcasing his mobility, Sipe found Willis Adams, number 80, for 26 yards. Again, the Bengals' defense met Cleveland's challenge. Ross Browner, number 79, sacked Sipe with less than 2 minutes remaining in the half, and the Browns were forced to punt. But the punt turned to Cleveland's advantage when the ball accidentally touched a Bengal, causing a fumble, and Dino Hall, number 26, recovered for the Browns on the Cincinnati 9-yard line. With 18 seconds left on the first half clock, Don Cockroft kicked a 26-yard field goal, tying the game at 10 at the intermission. Brian Sipe had been tested by an aggressive, hard-hitting Bengal defense in the first half and absorbed his worst physical beating of the season. But Sipe survived unscathed, calmly ready to lead the Browns to their first division title in 9 years. Sipe was not about to let the sun go down on Cleveland's championship dreams. Rule number 1. Don't turn your backs on the comeback Cleveland Browns, or so the saying goes. This time, the rule worked in reverse in Forrest Gregg's favor. As the second half opened, Brown quarterback Brian Sipe retreated into a familiar posture, searching for friendly receivers. When Cincinnati cornerback Ray Griffin returned the errant Sipe pass 52 yards for a touchdown, it put the Bengals up by 7. This is precisely where the Browns like to be, behind, where there is nothing like other people's joy or a 7-point deficit to light a fire in the comeback contingent from Cleveland. Cleveland's next possession found Sipe back in the pocket again. 5 straight passes, including one to tight end Ozzie Newsome, carried the Browns 69 yards in 2 minutes. While Newsome, Rucker, and Logan are the attention getters among Brown receivers, a fourth fought to share the billing. Ricky Feature, number 83. The wide receiver from Mississippi Valley went upriver on the Bengals' Lewis Breeden to tie the score at 17 apiece. A view from the top confirms that Feature's sideline fly pattern turned into a foot race, won by a nose at the Cincinnati goal line. Browns are an opportunistic bunch. Witness to this are Bengal Reggie Williams and colleagues, who noted that opportunism from the sideline. Indeed, it was the Bengals who provided the opportunities. Jack Thompson's first pass of the second half found its way into the hands of Cleveland cornerback Ron Bolton, number 28. An uncomfortable Forrest Gregg urged his defense to stiffen up. They did just that, forcing the Browns to punt, which looked good on paper, but not in practice. "5'7" Dino Hall used his height to his advantage, getting to the ground and the ball first to set up another feature attraction. This time, the Browns' number 83 picked on another Bengal cornerback, Ken Riley. Ricky Feature's second touchdown in less than 2 minutes put the Browns ahead by 7. The frigid cold affected fans and officials in different ways. Cincinnati's performance was numbed also, and it wasn't until the Browns regained the lead that the Bengals showed some second-half life. Wide receivers became the prime topic on Jack Thompson's mind. After locating Isaac Curtis, number 85, for 14 yards, Thompson hooked up with a friend he hadn't seen since early in the game, number 87, Pat McAnally. To put McAnally's performance in perspective, it must be remembered that he suffered a blindside blow in the first period and left the field on a stretcher. But like any feisty jet pilot after a crash landing, McAnally climbed back in the cockpit and flew down the far sideline. The 59-yard touchdown pass added new fuel to the Bengal air game and retied the game at 24. Still becoming accustomed to the subtle nuances of the 3-4 defense, Cincinnati limited the Browns to just 57 yards rushing and threw Brian Sipe for 52 yards in losses with 6 sacks. Cleveland's fourth quarter frustration continued as they searched for a finishing kick. Another Ricky Feature race into the secondary had a different ending. Kenny Riley got even, putting Feature out of the race and giving the Bengals the football. As the field temperature continued to hover in the teens, there was one sideline hot foot belonging to Bengal kicker Jim Breach, who only wished for the chance to use it instead of keeping it gift-wrapped. Midway through the fourth period, the Bengals briefly ran out of the shotgun. Jack Thompson drew first, and the draw play picked up 15 yards. Equally balancing the pass with the run, Thompson went 39 yards to tight end Dan Ross, who went another 10 on his own. Pat McAnally caught just one pass in 1979. On this one afternoon in 1980, he picked up 3 for 86 yards, this one penetrating the Cleveland 25-yard line. What has hurt the Cincinnati Bengals most all season is losing steam inside the 20s and committing the crucial turnover. Both hurt the Bengals this Sunday. The crucial mistake on this day was a Tom Darden interception, one that began the Browns' final foray into Cincinnati territory. A short summit meeting between Brian Sipe and Sam Ratigliano determined the Browns' closing strategy. After a short sideline pass to Calvin Hill, the Browns uncharacteristically abandoned their passing game and ran an unheard-of 7 consecutive running plays, getting the most out of fullback Mike Pruitt, number 43. Pruitt's contributions were valuable in the closing moments as he had his second straight 1,000-yard rushing year. Brian Sipe totaled over 4,000 passing yards for the season and became only the third man ever to do so, joining Dan Fouts and Joe Namath. This play was not vintage Sipe. Sipe thought some misdirection would be more effective than the pass. He was wrong and elected to stay safe, going up the middle. stage was set for kicker Don Cockcroft, and while he took center stage, the ringmaster's sight joined the audience. With 2:25 remaining, Cockcroft's kick was true, putting the Browns over the top with a 3-point win. A win that earned the Browns the AFC Central title. Though tied with Houston with an 11-5 record, the Browns boast the better interconference record, hence the division championship. Sam Ratigliano's ride will continue after a week off, as the Browns and 5 other division champions will watch as the wild cards attempt to deal each other out of the playoffs. The hunt is on, and the Browns are in the thick of it.